Today in cartoon breaking news, the highlights of this video, they are adapting a manga called Santa to an anime. It looks very badass in the same creator of Beastar of this new manga. Now the second highlight of the day is basically they are confirming Shrek 5 is coming. We talk about that later on. And the third highlight of this video is sort of the bad guy second special coming soon. And plus so much more in cartoon breaking news. Of course, this is our first time on my channel. My name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes if you have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If you don't, that's fine. For you, thank you, because of you, I passed my goal 1,000, and my new goal is 2,000 subscribers. And I'm getting close because all the people will like, comment, and share. Thank you. I am completely grateful. And now let's start the first breaking news. Now, our first segment will be sort of an update from Totally Spies, the video game, on season 7, because this video game is attached to that brand new season. But Record Captain Twitter account sort of updated and tell you when it's gonna come out will be on the October the 31st. Yeah, I'm surprised they come out this soon. Top of all this will be all system, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Yeah, this one they go all in. In fact, even that they actually link it to the trailer of the video game and it is fully English dubbed. I'm sort of surprised they actually did everything. On top of all this, I saw the trailer. I'm sort of surprised because the trailer feels like Splinter Cell meets Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, it's like I'm sort of surprised they went that sort of direction. But the only problem is the graphics is not that good compared to the animated series. That it's sort of obvious this is sort of just selling the product, not give you a good game. But the gaming kind of showing looks actually promising for a tie-in video game to a series. But who knows, this could be very terrible or very good. But the whole point of this video game is basically interpreting different locations and not being caught by the main evil villain in Singapore. And that's sort of the whole point of this game. Just infiltrate, use your tech spies, and just go in and go out and try not to be discovered. It also explore in the video game landscape. And that's basically it. But I'm sort of surprised this thing was moving out fast. I mean, lightning fast. I think unless I talk about this, I think almost a month ago. I'm not sure it was a month ago, but you get the idea. So yeah, are you excited about this? Because the CGI doesn't look good, but the gameplay seems promising. I don't know. It's a tie-in game. You know how tie-in games are. Usually it's just a kind of cash out kind of situation. But who knows? After that, are you excited or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. Now, our second segment of the day is basically follow on what on Netflix. It's basically a news article website basically posting the bad guys getting a Halloween special on Netflix in 2024. Supposedly may be released on the October, but we're not 100% sure, but it will probably come out during that time. But during this article, it does state something kind of interesting because supposedly this was sort of inspired by the new books coming out of the bad guys last couple of weeks during this recording on the 7th, the 11th of 2024. But besides that, that's all it really says. Doesn't have much to say. But it seems this could be another special exclusive for Netflix. But the only problem is, fans did not like the last special of Christmas of the bad guys because the animation wasn't that amazing. To me, it didn't bother me that much. It did bother me is sort of, they kind of broke the logic of their own original story. So that's the thing that does bother me. But the fact is, they bothered you the last time, will you give it a second chance? Because let's face it, they do two notes of the last time. You also, just to remind some people who did not see me talking about last time, is that the first special of the bad guys was directed by the same creator of the books, not the creator of the movie. That completely different team. But understanding this is the first time he actually decided to make a animated project, so it makes sense. The special was sort of kind of terrible, but yeah, I still defend it because I did enjoy it. Even that, I feel they kind of ruined it a little bit in the end. But besides that, I will give another chance of this. In fact, I probably will review it. Maybe, I don't know. Depends if I have any spare time. But besides that, I feel maybe a little bit confident. Maybe it will be more inspired by the original animated style because the first special wasn't in. That's the thing. People got pissed off. But of course, some people do point out, do you like the characters or you just fall in love with the art? Because there is a difference. Because you love the art, that means you don't care about the characters. If that is that important for you, that means it's not for you. But of course, you like me, you like the characters, you like the writing. This special could be you or improved on, but let's face it, the last one wasn't that great. It's been good enough, in other words. But all of that, I will give it another chance. I don't know you. Will you? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now this comes from 2Hub straight for Twitter slash S posting. They give a teaser trailer finally confirming that Shrek 5 is in development and come out in 2026 on July the 1st. People are truly excited about this. They're hyped. They're hoping to be good. But for me, I'm sort of the opposite. I'm not sure, especially what happened to Combo Panda 4. They just did it joke after joke because they didn't have a script or make focus. And I'm scared this Shrek 5 will be the same thing. Because let's face it, Shrek the franchise, the last two films, not been good. Especially the third movie of Shrek, it was sort of very disappointing of that one. That's when they easily automatically created the fourth one that was a little better. The fourth one is sort of kind of racing the third movie what actually happened because it's sort of a shame because it's sort of ruined potential of the third film. But hopefully Shrek 5 will be a good, decent film. Hopefully. I mean, we could be wrong. Could be, once again, like Combo Panda 4. Just not carrying, just there cashing out. I don't know you, how you felt about this. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this is sort of a update for the old news I talked about a couple of weeks ago. I think almost like a month and a half. It's all about Roswell. If you don't know about the project, if it's the first time you heard of it, Roswell is sort of kind of indie project that right now is on Indiegogo. They started their funding. They only have 12 backers, a total of $441, but they mean to end the goal or at least fund the project, they need 27,200. But they're getting close to it. Still have 30 days left to go. But what is this project? Well, how to describe this project is basically Alien Nightmare meets Teenage Dream. That's how they sort of pitched it. But the whole story of this basically is what happened in Roswell, New Mexico back in 1947, the UFO incident that our main lead called Joshua that is related to his grandfather Mac who had that incident happen too. And Joshua attempted to sort of convince their friends the alien do exist and this incident do exist. But at the same time, weird things actually happening that is sort of hard to explain. That this sort of child seems to me, how I see the trailer, having nightmares, being chased by aliens, or chased about something very specific. And I'm guessing this is sort of the motivation, of course, to actually find out if aliens does exist. But I love it more how the creator sort of described his inspiration is sort of between three different shows. That would be Infinity Train, Steven Universe, and Stranger Things. And you know what? When you watch the trailer, you can actually see it. You actually feel that sort of dream aspect of Infinity Train, that sort of inspiration. There also could be that sort of darkness of Stranger Things, that sort of being human, and also see that sort of magical side of Steven Universe. But once again, this is his own thing. You guys sort of inspire about that three shows. Of course, more better way to describe it to some viewers still not sure what this really is. It's sort of like Gravity Falls, but more specifically following kind of sci-fi tropes in a sci-fi sort of genre. But of course, it's up to you if you want to fund this specific project because this is on Indiegogo, barely starting actually open their Kickstarter or Indiegogo starter. But I don't know you, this seems very well handled, very confident. That I hope it does near their reach goal for at least the first episode because they only asked you to about me 30,000. About this about 28,000, but you get the idea. That could be a possibility. You still have a lot of time. In fact, are you excited? Will you fund this project, or you prefer no? I wait to see what happens. I support it a different way. Tell me down below, or you just don't care about this specific project. Just to remind you, if you want good animated projects, you have to at least tweet about it, talking about it, give sort of kind of backing in a way. You don't have to give cash. Just let people aware this projects do exist. If you're interested, just fund it because the very end, you want to convince Hollywood adult animation or just animation in general is very successful both for your wallet. Every little thing helps. I'm just saying. It's just sort of a reminder for some cartoon fans. Just you need to do just tweet about it, talk about it, or you can fund it if you choose to. But it's just the little things does really help. Now let's talk about the next news cartoons. Now this segment is from Toon Hub posting that Ren Stimpy reboot has been delayed premiering on not cartoon, Comedy Central on Latin America. Now some of you are saying, okay, what this means? Well, whatever happens in the other country reflects what happened here in the United States because this is our American cartoon. Posting on TuneHub, the show will premiere in July or June, and if that show was delayed on Comedy Central on Latin America, there's a small chance will be delayed here in the United States because 90% of the time, one show get delayed for someone somewhere else is for me one or two reasons, meaning the translation is still not finished, or something happened, they had to wait to maybe it's for something else, or it's delayed for because here will also be delayed, but they got to it first, or something like that. It could be multiple things. It could be something completely random, or anything like that. Just sort of self-aware if this gonna be maybe delayed here also. But to be fair, do not be excited because this reboot was leaked, I think a month ago ish, but it was leaked. The people who watched it say it wasn't good. I mean, especially the hardcore fans who love Ren and Stimpy, they say don't even bother watching it. It's sort of disappointing. And the people who had never watched Ren and Stimpy, seen it, they say it was okay, but nothing really new. In other words, because it's kind of hard to replicate Ren and Stimpy. In fact, I made a video when it was leaked. I talked about it, but you get the idea because Ren and Stimpy is one of those unique cartoons. Is that is very inspired by animation. It's very artistic. It's the whole point is being artistically crazy, and that is sort of hard to do nowadays because how companies don't have the money to give certain specific project the funding they need. And Ren and Stimpy is the type of show you need twice the funding to make it work. In other words, let's say they get funded per episode $500,000, but Ren and Stimpy needs a full $1 million or a little bit more, like $1.5 million per episode, just to make the art style pop because that's his thing. That's the reason why it's super popular because the art just really stands out. It's very expensive, and Paramount is sort of desperate to reboot this. It's not gonna work if you don't give it the right budget. On top of all this, the writing actually was good of the original. I mean, it really was funny and entertaining. But the only problem is, people who watched it says it feels like they got hacked comedians. Comedians are just sort of basically lose their touch of being funny. They're very basic. They lose what they were funny about. And it seems they hired the top writers to write this show. while actually thinking about hiring cartoon writers than action writers, because there is a difference. People who write live action series only tend to take it serious but never go wacky, because it's sort of obvious because it's sort of live action, and cartoonists has to have it be wacky because it's how open-minded they really are, because they do understand this is animation, we can do whatever we want. And that's sort of the problems hiring a sort of normal writer, not understanding this is a cartoon. Don't be basic, be creative, be over a top. But once more, is that sort of the problem of sometimes hiring a Pacific writer for a Pacific show if they just don't understand? At least that's how it usually works. But I don't know you. Are you worried? Do you care? Or you lost interest even the how people said it wasn't good? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this segment comes from Cartoon Empire, specifically posting the new trailer of You May Have the video game. Now, this is basically based on the new version of the Turtles, which supposed to come out back in October 18 this year. Will be all consoles, including PC. And I saw the trailer feels so confident, especially the animation looks great of this CGI. They really captured the designs and the characters. Just be known, I'm not a huge fan of Mutant Mayhem. I think it's a good series, but it's sort of lacking of how you develop the characters right. But in the end, it's still a good depiction. Even that some fans didn't like it, understand. I was sort of in the middle, still enjoyed. But the video game always been a good set for the Turtles. Always happens, always will, because it's just sort of makes sense, makes perfect sense. But besides that, are you hyped? Are you interested? Because this one looks like you could play individually or as a team, or which each individual characters depends on your sort of does you take that words. Of course, this game is sort of especially working with the team, like co-op, me four turtles in once, and that's sort of interesting because there's some scenes you play by yourself, other scenes you play as a team. So I don't know if this is be co-op or just single player or both. Or maybe it's just sort of boss battles you could team up using both characters. But it looks pretty good. I mean, once more, I'm a fan. I'm sort of in the middle of this. But the video games scene, they always, like, good 60 or 75% time, they hit the mark. That sort of 30% they usually miss. In other words, every 3 video games they make, 2 are good, 1 is sort of bad. Not all the time, but you get the idea. But up to you. Are you excited or not? You actually really enjoy it? Tell me down below. Let me know. And now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this cartoon news comes from Culture Crave. It's sort of a very reliable, sort of news pop culture website. Well, not website. It's sort of Twitter account. It's just this scooper who has a lot of information on all different directions of Hollywood. But one of the things he sort of tweeted out is sort of fascinating. Is about the IP of Marknauts. Marknauts is sort of an anime series was done several years ago by Hasbro. The total of 52 episodes in a long series. The last episode was sort of finished on 2020. And for right now, Hasbro not yet released. Right now we are 2024. Now have been total of 4 years, and yet Hasbro not decided to actually let this show out for some apparent reason, because it doesn't really give us a report or reason why Hasbro decided this. Maybe the show was super terrible, maybe they sure it wasn't a good idea, or some event happened that realized it would be too connection to their own IP. But some of you wondering, what is this IP? What is the Micronauts? Well, Micronauts is something. It's the best way to describe, because the whole creation, the idea, inspiration is almost like very similar to He-Man. If you don't know what He-Man, how it was created, it was sort of leftover toys and decided to create another toy using other failed IP toys to connect them as one. And that's what Marknauts is. It's sort of a He-Man sort of situation. It's sort of all the ideas left over combined as one. And you actually, the story was about basically is this man who lives in a market world that is sort of in a universe inside another universe. They attempted to escape out using a ship, but the only problem is this man can't really steer the ship that long because the trip is just too hard. So it decided to maybe take a slumber inside the capsule, let a machine drive the ship, but uses his own brain, basically AI it, copy it, and give it to the robot to help be more control in the robot and attempt to escape. A lot of things happen and attempted to get out. And that's basically the summary. I mean, the story gets more out there, more sci-fi, more over the top. But when you see the images, the comic books, or read about the comic books, you get it. This thing is super out there, very sci-fi, very creative, something like He-Man, that type of creative, because it was basically left for toys and left to Marvel Comics to figure out how to tell the story. You basically leave bunch of a toy box and told Marvel to make a story out of it, and they actually be super creative because that creativity make this super interesting to watch, just to see all the ideas work super well. But the only problem is this IP is really cursed because every time they attempt to do an anime series or live action or even comics, it just get canceled over and over again. There were a total of I think 7 projects. I could be wrong. There probably be more, but somewhere I read they total like 7 comics canceled because the licensing fee or something went wrong or they wasn't promoting right. But Hasbro will not let it go because this IP is could be big. It was big at certain points, but the only problem is they cannot reunite it again because something always goes wrong. And this is sort of one of the basically projects just decided to cancel for no apparent reason. We don't know why. And that's the thing that everybody's sort of curious. Is the animated project that bad? Or maybe just didn't want to spend the money? Or it's a lot of questions. Like we don't know why. Or maybe they just ran out of money and decided to not release it, so they write have a text write up afterwards. We just don't know. I found that sort of fascinating that very few people actually know about it, or even hard to explain it because I looked so much information about this. In the very beginning, everybody just keep talking the same thing about the toys while telling the plot. That's why the plot I keep explaining very limited because it's the sort of depends which version you read. But that's sort of the idea of the words. It's about a man trying to escape by using a robot to take his place. Something like AI in other words. But other than that, how you felt about it? Do you actually care about it? Do you want to see this project because sort of they don't want to let it go for some apparent reason, or you just don't care? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this segment is from the Twitter account Manga Pro. It's basically a news website about manga and anime, and one of them actually grabbed my attention. This post specifically, basically on SDCC 2024. That's basically sort of a kind of conference about manga, anime, or anything about animation. They actually are showing a rooster fight, and that's sort of a manga that's sort of all about action and comedy. It's the whole story of that. It's basically a rooster fighting place to place in Japan, fighting the person who killed his sister. It's sort of a absurd comedy action, and believe me, I have read this manga, at least the first volume. It is very out there, but it also very amazing. But be sure this this post says it's not yet confirmed, but it seems Adult Swim or Party will make it. Maybe. Once more, this is easily changed because Adult Swim is promoting it. We just don't know they're just the promoters or actually are thinking to adapt this to a animated series. Because Rooster Fight, it is very funny. It's very out there, especially the art. That the art is just incredible. But I don't mean it's just incredible because each manga has a very good art. You have a sort of quality control in manga, but Rooster Fight is very specifically will draw. I mean, specifically super enthusiastic, just overshirt, just well animated, just on purpose because it takes itself really serious. You find out what it's actually doing or whatever action is sort of a joke. It's sort of deadpan words, and that's why it works super well of this manga. Of course, if it's true, if Adult Swim is sort of promoting, maybe officially making an anime out of this, they need to put the money for it. I mean, a lot of money. Is that this to get the manga right? They have to get the art style, and the art style is very detailed, very action, very everything. Something you have to put a lot of money to actually make it work. If you don't put the money in, you can easily fall apart because that is what his main goal is. That sort of satire, super serious, but you realize what is funny, or what's the reason they're funny. It's just sort of hilarious. So yeah, hopefully this will sort of be actually confirmed later on in the near future by Adult Swim because this thing has potential to be amazing. Could be anime of the year if it's done right. If it doesn't, it could be sort of the one of the biggest disappointments of the year because it's all about the art. If they get it right, this could be great. If they get it wrong, it could be basically waste your time. But besides that, do you heard about it? Do you care about it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this is a post from Hollywood Handle posting the set of Rotten Tomatoes of Sashi Party Futopia, the new anime series based on the original Sashi Party. And this sort of was 6 or 8 episode season 1 from Amazon Prime. And it seems nowhere really likes it. At least the first 5 critics who watched this on Rotten Tomatoes 60%. And this is not the only one. I've seen other reviewers talking about it because they had first glimpses of this. Of course, to make sure to understand, I'm not yet sure this video will be out before the show or after the show, but it seems to me that it could be a really bad one because sort of lost the point of the original because this new anime series focus on they have to sort of figure out how to survive because now they're free. But the only problem is they're just recurring the same idea over and over again or the same joke now works. So this is the reason why a lot of critics did not like it. Even some critics admitted they did enjoy the original. They thought well, it were hilarious. But the only problem is they lost their charm because they could not think of something more creative. At least that's what I heard on But you have you seen the new animated series of Sashi Party, Futopia? Do you like it or do you hate it? Or it's one of the things you agree with the critic score or Rotten Tomato. It was sort of a bad idea. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. Now, another one from Mega More Marie that personally posting on their Twitter account /X. They are now adapting a new manga called Santa, based on the same creator who did Beastar. And the creator sort of tweeted out the reason why he created this manga, or at least was a sort of inspired, is that she wants to create a kind of a stylish, sort of badass with sort of something very magical about it. Something to just really shines. And this is the reason why they created Santa. Now, if you don't know what it is or what this manga is about, be adapted to an anime, Santa is basically the story or the plot. Basically, is this kid or middle schooler in the near future was sort of kind of bullied by his own classmates, but he doesn't realize he is related to a lineage of Santa. But during this time, Santa reappears and helps this kid to find a friend was lost in middle school. And that's sort of the pitch of the manga. And that got adapted to a animated series. But for right now, we don't know much about it. I have never read the manga, so I don't know much about it. But the art, just the art, how the creator says, oh, I just want to see something badass, something very cinematic now words. And it is cinematic. Just look at this image. And this is Santa Claus as a badass. Dude, you have me sold. I would probably look for this and buy it just to find out it's any good. Of course, have you read this manga? You think is this interesting because just the visual. I would give it a chance to watch 3 episodes. Hope it'll be good. In fact, anyone who actually read the manga is any good, please tell me down below. I really want to know. But other than that, I really can't say much. Just the image just sold me on it. It's just so cool because the whole point of the creator making this is sort of looking for the cool factor. She just wanted to make a cool manga. Just using Santa Claus is sort of the main thing. But the only problem is every time they use Santa in anime, it's a little weird. Sometimes they never really use the myth or the legend. Usually, if you want to see a cool Santa or badass Santa, you have to look here in the West because we do have a handful of badass Santas just to pick one, whichever you want. You want a serial killer, you want just a badass Santa of origins, or anything like that. You can find it here in the West. It's very rare you can find something works like Santa Claus sort of ideas in Japan because they really don't use the lore of Santa that much or create an idea of it. But I feel this one could actually pull it off. Honestly, I don't know. Of course, I don't know this anime is any good at all because there's sometimes a really badass manga. You look at it, it looks really badass. You don't know nothing about it. They're about to adapt it. You watch it, it's pretty suck. The art is great. It's just the story sucks. Yeah, hopefully it's not that way. Especially the creator of Beastars who made this manga. Hopefully is good. I'm more confident because it's her work than anything else. So I don't know you how you felt about this. Do you feel confident? You feel this is worth it, especially you have Beastar creator did this herself. So you're excited. You actually want to see it. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. Now, this statement is a little serious. It's about, once again, animation work united, especially a special kind of program. Well, not program, it's sort of an organization will help animators to get their rights to actually work in animation, to be fair pay, fair everything. Because they aren't just making short after short, actually promoting this sort of right in what happened to the animators. This short they posted is sort of like a 30 or 40-second little animated short, kind of saying what happened to the animators the last couple of years. That basically companies are shutting down anime studio, even that all the animators losing their jobs and getting more difficult to actually find a job because the companies are just don't care. Because at the very end, they just want the profit. Don't care about the animators who actually helped the industry when the pandemic actually started. That's the only kind of entertainment was still doing fine because everything you do is out of basically the base. Basically, they could do your work at home and it helped so much the entertainment industry. But the only problem is they got kicked out because they're not needed anymore. What we need you, we still have a live action series. And this is what the promotion of this short really is. The only thing they're asking, please just hashtag RIP Cartoon Network. That's supposed notified 100 people, a billion people, what's actually going on in the animated industry. Sort of to help out if you want to help out. Just remember, hashtag RAP Cartoon Network. And post something about a show you like got canceled because there's management. After that, that's all you can actually do. Hope they actually help their cause and be aware of animation. Now, let's talk about the next cartoon news. This is for Cartoon Empire posting the best trailer of Primo's release on July 25th of this month. Next day will be come out Disney Plus. But I've noticed something very interesting that nobody really cares anymore, or if they did care, the sort of was the hype because the trailer is not watched that much, or other trailers sort of people just lost interest of some apparent reason. We just don't know. Maybe because they stopped caring or realizing if they don't like something and complaining about it, get more attention. The project they feel was sort of offensive. Less you talk about it, the less free promotion they get watching the show. I feel that's sort of now the new tactic of this show. Of course, to make this sort of sense is that the show is never meant for adult audiences. They're meant for a very young audience, especially age to 2 to me 8 or 9 words. You see the trailer, you know what I mean. But besides that, do you care about it? You just lost interest, or you still offended? You gotta rant about it, because at the very end, it's all about that. If you care or you don't, or you like me, just let it go. Stop talking about it. Move on and let it die. It's up to your decision. What is your opinion? Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this is from Kazuka Pacifically on Twitter/X, posting something very interesting. Basically, back in 2012, they made an animated movie called Jesus and Buddha and Sing Young Man. That basically back in 2012, based on manga by the same creator of Kusuka. I can't say the name right. Forgive me, but you get the idea. But this animated movie now becoming adapting a live action movie back in 2024. Not yet promote or not yet come out, but it seems it got the same humor. Now, what is Jesus and Buddha and Saint Young Man? Basically, just Buddha and Jesus living in Japan, eating, getting a good life, and being sort of ironic. And that's basically the whole plot story. It's just a slice of life kind of animated movie. But it's just sort of the interpretation of Jesus and Buddha, how Japanese people live, and how they adapt not being rude. And that's sort of the pitch of the movie. Possibly, it's a really good movie. I guess so good they decided to readapt it to making a live action movie. But this one, I think the trailer of this new live action and feels more memeable. It's sort of kind of a parody of old action things, but yet still sort of slice of life of Jesus and Buddha trying to figure out how Japanese people live and how they pay their rent. And that's basically it. What's more, it seems very charming. Of course, it's sort of weird because every time they adapt a manga or anime into a live action, have that sort of weird factor or uncanny valley. Depends what sort of art style they have or idea, because it's sort of odd usually. But but the manga slash animated movie, Jesus and Buddha, kind of actually does work because it's just sort of absurd, and that's the whole point. And feels they did capture the magic, at least in the trailer. Because I have not seen the original anime or manga, but I have been told it's sort of worth your time if you're curious, if you at least want a recommendation. At least that's what people told me. I don't know you. I am interested. I probably watch the animated movie and also the live action movie if I like the animated movie first. But it's up to you how you felt. In fact, do you recommend me watch the anime or read the manga? Please tell me down below. Or anything else. What do you think about this? You think it's super absurd, super interesting, or not? Tell me down below. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. And that's what I'm doing. Not thank you for watching. Let's talk about the next cartoon news. I'm so sorry. I'm tripping here. Now, this segment, I am a little excited. This is from Twitter subs X from Regular Capo posting or updating of the new statement from Checker Pass, posting saying they could release what a cartoon segments on the USA Adult Twin network. It would be a total of 48 original segments of the Checker Pass block. Now, some of you sort of wondering what a cartoon segment. What a cartoon is sort of the sort of project that Cartoon Network created to get more animated projects. This is the one who came out of Dexter Laboratory, Giant Bravo, and many other famous cartoons like Powerpuff Girls. In fact, this is the one that made every single career of the new animators like Getting Johnny Carsey or Butch Hartman well known. It's just the shorts that actually come out. But interesting enough, there actually is more shorts than you actually believe, because this one is saying they can only come out only 48 original shorts. If you remember, there were over 100 or a little bit more than 100 shorts. I think they only pick up 48, or at least they chose 48, the most recognizable ones, because in the poster, the one they're promoting is the ones the most remembered of all, like the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter. You usually have the Family Guy pilot of the original Family Guy part reappear, and many other different shorts that easy to be recognizable for old fan who watched that certain time period. So yeah, the ones you like the most will appear in the original 48. The rest of it probably will not come out because some of them did not even come out. They were sort of considered lost media. So it's one of those like you get half the pie, not all of it. But be fair, this 48 shorts are probably fan favorites. This is the reason why I decided to relaunch this program. At least the original shorts, just to have that sort of the stature kick. And for me, it's sort of working on you have actually interest rewatching this in Checker Pass and Adult Swim. Poster will come out in July 29 at 6 p.m. It'll be over 48 shorts. It's up to you. You actually want to see it or not. I probably will see it because I am curious to see what they come up with, or at least have the stature right. Now, what is your opinion of this? Do you think this is a good idea? You think this is a bad idea? You actually watch it. Please tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. This is our final segment of the day. It's from Cartoon Base, posting of the original Cartoon Network studio have been shut down. Cartoon Network is dead, but not exactly. The brand and channel still alive, but because shutting down the main studio. Because of this, they had to cancel a lot of different projects and let go a lot of different employees. Because sort of outsourcing and also culture mergers sort of have to force shut down the original studio. And this is was the reason why you have hashtag RIP Cartoon Network, and also why Animation Work United are reposting this because you want you to know what's actually going on and what happened of all the other animators. Of course, this is a very tragic thing. Hopefully they get back their feet. Hopefully the whole people will find other jobs or go to indie to find other jobs to actually make more animated projects. Because let's face it, the studios Harper Warner Brothers do not care about animation, even that their main branch is animation instead of ludicrous. But besides you, how you felt about this? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you feel indifferent? Tell me down below. Let me know. And honestly, that's the final thing I can say of this cartoon segment. I missed any news do you believe was sort of necessary to talk about this cartoon news or not? I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.